England's bid to win the European Championships for the first time continues on Sunday when they take on Slovakia in Gelsenkirchen. The English fans know the stadium very well, as it was here that they exited the World Cup in 2006, following an ill fated encounter against Portugal in the quarterfinals. Home of FC Schalke, the Veltins Arena has played hosts to some legendary musical acts in the past, like the Rolling Stones, System of a Down, the Red Hot Chili Peppers, Guns N' Roses, AC/DC, and Metallica. The football that the three Lions have played in this tournament so far, though, has hardly been what one would call rock and roll. Gareth Southgate's men topped Group C, where they were drawn with Denmark, Slovenia, and Serbia. Considering the wealth of attacking talent at their disposal, it would not be an exaggeration to say that they grossly underperformed, scoring just twice in their three games. An unconvincing 1-0 victory over Serbia was followed by a 1-1 draw against Denmark. The string of flat performances continued in their last group game against Slovenia, which ended goalless. England are hoping to go one better this time after finishing runners up to Italy at Euro 2020. At the other end, Slovakia have never gone beyond the round of 16 at a major tournament since the dissolution of the erstwhile Czechoslovakia in 1993. This is only the second time that they have reached the knockout rounds at the European Championships, having done so previously in 2016. At World Cups, they have only qualified for the final tournament once in 2010, where they beat defending champions Italy to make it through the group stages. At Euro 2024, Francesco Calzona's men have ridden their luck at times, losing all their group games based on expected goals. They did, however, score the first goal in all three. In their opener against Belgium, Ivan Schranz's 7th minute strike was enough for a famous 1-0 win, in a game that saw two Romelu Lukaku goals disallowed. It was Schranz again who opened the scoring against Ukraine, becoming the first Slovakian to score more than once at a major tournament. This was before Serhei Rebrov's men waged a second half comeback to win 2-1. They only needed a point on matchday 3 against Romania to qualify, which they earned with a 1-1 draw. Ultimately, all the teams in Group E ended on 4 points apiece, and Slovakia qualified for the last 16 as one of the four best third place teams. England are unbeaten in their six encounters against Slovakia dating back to 2002, winning five of them. Their only meeting at a major tournament, though, ended in a goalless draw back at Euro 2016. Their two most recent meetings came in the qualification campaign for the 2018 World Cup. England won both home and away, with the game in Slovakia being Sam Allardyce's one and only match in charge of the national side. Adam Lallana scored a 95th minute winner in Trnava that day in September 2016. There have been several debates on England's best starting 11, and the variety of options that Southgate has proven to be more of a bane than a boon. In the first two matches, he went with a double pivot of Declan Rice and Trent Alexander Arnold, and a front four of Phil Foden, Jude Bellingham, Bukayo Saka, and Harry Kane. One of England's biggest problems in the tournament so far has been the lack of runners in behind, with Foden, Bellingham, and Kane all preferring to drop deep to receive the ball to feet. Hence, Alexander Arnold's ability to play precise long balls over the opposition defence has hardly come into play. Southgate dropped the Liverpool man for Conor Gallagher against Slovenia, but this didn't really change things too much. Bobby Maino's introduction in the second half of that game made England look a lot better, with a Manchester United teenager looking to carry the ball into dangerous areas. The lack of width, especially on the left hand side, has also been a glaring issue, with Foden tending to drift into central areas. Kieran Trippier, a right footer playing at left back, hasn't been effective at making the marauding forward runs that he does for Newcastle United on the opposite flank. Southgate has some big decisions to make against Slovakia. Maino has staked his claim to play from the start, and Anthony Gordon looks like the out and out winger that England need on the left. This will, of course, mean dropping either Foden or Bellingham, who are both players with big reputations in the English media. Saka on the right hasn't done too much wrong so far, but Cole Palmer's impressive 20-minute cameo against Slovenia has presented Southgate with another viable option. Of course, Kane up front hasn't worked either, but it's unlikely that the England captain will be dropped for Ollie Watkins, who is excellent at stretching defences with his forward runs. Slovakia's lineup is much more settled. Under Calzona, who took over as manager in 2022, they have played with a 4-3-3 setup, looking to press teams high and dominate possession. Against England, though, the best game plan might well be to concede possession in non dangerous areas and hit with numbers on the counter attack. The average age of Slovakia's starting lineup has been over 30 in each of their games so far. Newcastle's Martin Dubravka in goal is 35, while right back Peter Pekarik and midfielder Juraj Kuchka, both 37, are the only remaining members of the 2010 World Cup squad. Pekarik does look to bomb forward at every possible opportunity. Another reason for England to go with a pacey left winger who will hug the touchline. Their two most high profile players are captain Milan Skriniar, who plays for Paris Saint Germain, and Napoli midfielder Stanislav Lobotka, who can act both as a creator and a destroyer depending on the situation. Andrei Duda is one of Slovakia's most technically gifted individuals, and he poses a goal scoring threat with his runs into the box from midfield, as he showed whilst netting against Romania. Lucas Haraslin on the left flank can be an absolute handful to deal with a Sparta Prague man looking to cut inside and get his shot away at every chance. He hasn't scored so far in the tournament, but has come very close on a couple of occasions. Shranz on the right has been Johnny on the spot twice already, and the England defence will have to make sure that there aren't any loose balls bouncing around in the box. In a nutshell, teams have found it easy to play against England so far, and neutralizing the attacking threat of this star studded side has been a relatively straightforward task. It would therefore not at all be surprising if Slovakia pull off an upset. Alzona's side, though, have conceded numerous chances in every game they have played, and the three Lions have more than enough individual quality to take advantage of that. Like every England game in this tournament, I can see this one being a mind numbingly boring watch, but in the end, they should just about be able to nick it, either through a moment of magic or by scrappily bundling the ball in. England 1, Slovakia nil.